After Golden State's loss to Minnesota last week, their hopes of topping the Bulls' record looked in jeopardy, in serious jeopardy. They had to go 4-0 the rest of the way with games against the Spurs in San Antonio, a game at Golden State against the Spurs as well, and then 2 games against Memphis as well, home and away. First game of that stretch was San Antonio at the Oracle. Golden State took care of business. Then last night, they had to travel to Memphis. Barely came out with a 1-point victory. They got a little help from the referees, some may say, with a ghost call on Lance. But, hey, we're not going to get into that. They got the job done. And the game I had circled that they would lose, ruining their chances of topping the record, was this game that took place today, San Antonio versus Golden State. And for the first quarter, it looked like Golden State would lose this game, but nope. The second half, Steph Curry put on an MVP performance, and Golden State went on to win 92-86 to improve to 72-9 on the season. Even if they lose their last game, they have already tied the Bulls' record with 72 wins. Now they have to face Memphis at home on Wednesday to go for 73. And I think it's a foregone conclusion they top it. So to the people who doubted Golden State, said their championship was a fluke, what can you say now? Other than some more hating shit. Welcome back to the Best Damn Sports Blog. Back again to talk NBA with you guys, specifically the historic Golden State Warriors, because they went into San Antonio, got the job done, picked up their 72nd win of the season, tying the Bulls record for the most regular season wins in the season. They still have a game in hand, meaning they can go for 73. They're 72-9 as we speak, following their 92-86 victory over the Spurs. That also ended the Spurs' hopes of becoming the first team in NBA history to finish a regular season with no home losses. So not only do the Warriors tie the Bulls record, they also deaded the Spurs' chances of becoming a part of history as well. In this game, it was a tough grind-out victory for the Golden State Warriors, although they pulled away at the end. The first quarter, San Antonio held them to just 14 points, their lowest quarter of the season. Lowest point total in a quarter this season. 14 points. Golden State Warriors, that makes no sense. They average 114 points per game. So San Antonio, they played great defense. And even throughout the whole game, Steph Curry, he just put on an MVP performance in the second half, scored 26 of his 37. And I mean, he really had it going. He hit a three-pointer at the end of the third that didn't count from about 75 feet. And then in crunch time down the stretch, to put the game away, he hits a layup from outside of the lane. Just scoops it in. Steph Curry has been amazing this season. The Warriors as a team has been phenomenal. And the difference in this game, of course, there was no Duncan or Di, who both sat out. Greg Popovich decided to do so. And I don't really think that made much of a difference. Following the win, Golden State improves to 3-1 versus San Antonio in the season. First time they won a series since 07-08 against the Spurs, a regular season series. And I find that to be very telling of what is to come in the playoffs if these two teams do indeed meet, Golden State and San Antonio. Now, the Spurs, we're going to presume both teams win their first round matchup. In the second round, they will have OKC, which will be a tough test in itself. But if they are able to get past OKC in the second round, the difference in this game that put Golden State over the top, I think, will be the difference in the series between the two. And that's Golden State just has more athletic players, and they're a way better three-point shooting team. In this game, San Antonio shot 3 of 17 from deep, just 17.6% from three. That against Golden State, you're not going to win any game shooting 3 of 17. I'm not even sure if you shot 3 of 3 from deep, if that would even matter. You need to make around 5 to 7 three-pointers in a game just to stay around where Golden State is. And the athleticism factor, I think, will be the biggest difference. Golden State just has too many players interchangeable, that can guard multiple positions that they can just throw out there and that can play decent defense. Whereas San Antonio, they have a few, but their key pieces, Ginobili, Tony Parker, even Duncan, we can only expect so much from them on the defensive end. Kawhi Leonard is their best defender. Danny Green is a good defender. But other than that, it gets kind of iffy for San Antonio. Golden State has multiple defenders and multiple players that can create shots for themselves or others. Multiple players that can grab the ball off the rim, rebound it, and go coast to coast. Or set up the offense. They're too versatile. And that's why this team has been so great this year. Historically great, that is. Like, I know people love the 90s for nostalgic reasons. Michael Jordan, greatest basketball player of all time. So people are always going to lean to his team and their accomplishments. And anything that Michael Jordan did is always the best. But what this team has put together, I think, is the greatest feat in NBA history when it comes to a team accomplishment in a regular season. And on Wednesday night, they can cement their name in history alone, the Golden State Warriors, when they take on the Memphis Grizzlies at the Oracle. So we know it. They're getting that 73rd win, topping the Bulls' 72-10 regular season, a record I thought was unbreakable. What Golden State has displayed this season has been utterly amazing. Something I never thought I would see. Sort of like someone topping Wilt's 100 points or someone topping Scott Skiles' assist record in a single game. I think it's like 33. Like, I thought that was a record we would never see shattered. Even come close to shattering either. Hell, I thought we wouldn't see a 70-win team ever. And here comes Golden State. People doubted them last year, said they got lucky in the NBA Finals. No Kyrie Irving, no Kevin Love, which is all factual information. But then they came out this season after winning the NBA championship, after being 2-1 down to Cleveland. 2-1 down to Cleveland in the NBA Finals. Excuse me. They come back this season as the hungriest team in the NBA. I think they started out 24-0. And I just want to reel off a couple stats for the people who think Jordan rules all. Nobody can ever come close to anything he ever does, like it's just impossible. Well, this Warriors team, that win in San Antonio tonight was their 34th road win of the season, which is the most in NBA history, topping the 95-96 Bulls, who won 33 road games during their 72-10 regular season. Golden State became the only team in NBA history to finish a season without consecutive losses. They have not lost back-to-back games all season. That alone is incredible itself. Not to lose consecutive games at all, to be able to bounce back after every loss, that level of consistency is amazing. Those 95-96 Bulls can't even say that. And also, here's another stat. Golden State is the only team in NBA history to not suffer 2 defeats against any team. Those 95-96 Bulls lost twice to the Pacers. San Antonio, this win tonight, was their third against San Antonio to improve to 3-1 against them. And they have not lost to any other team more than once this season. This is incredible stuff. I'm sorry, yes, Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time. But what we are witnessing from Golden State is historic. It should be respected, not minimized or belittled. Now, Scottie Pippen, he has gone out and said that the Bulls would sweep the Warriors. And he had another comment that I agree with that I'll touch on. But he's one of my favorite players. Let me preface this. One of my favorite players of all time. I feel he is one of the most underrated players in NBA history. But sweep the Warriors? Who's going to guard Steph Curry? Scottie Pippen? So who's going to guard Draymond? And then what about when Iguodala's in there? And then what if they put Sean Livingston in? And then Klay Thompson? Like, let's be logical. I don't think Golden State will win that series. But at the Oracle, hypothetically speaking, they'll at least win one game. I think they'll win two. But you got to at least give them one. Come on, Scotty. You got to give them one. And the thing that I do want to agree with him on, and I'll end the podcast on that, 72 wins or 73, whatever Golden State finishes with, it doesn't mean shit if they don't win the NBA championship in June.